Hello, thanks for dropping in today. I'm going to continue to experiment on the perhaps flood-damaged 1541 disk drive. If you saw the latest episode, there was a data set I was tinkering with. I'm going to exercise it while doing this, but mostly we're going to look at the disk drive. So, let us see here. Now, this 1541, it did pass the performance test before, and there's no reason to think it will not do that again. So I'm going to load, quote, perf, asterisk quote, comma 8, because there's nothing else on this called performance test except for the program that is the performance test. And this is the 1541 test demo disc that came with the 1541. Came with every 1541. And they sent a disc pretty much with every disk drive of some description. So I'm going to let this do its thing. Now the data set, which interesting. I thought that I would fast forward and rewind and give this data set a bit of a workout. And of course the eject works as well as it ever did, but the trouble is it will not do its thing. I don't think there's anything that would keep the data set from working while the 1541 is running through the performance test, but then again, perhaps I am mistaken. Or perhaps this is just cacked out and died. I don't hear it making any noises when I try and do it. Mind you, here's the 1541 having finished its testing. Interesting. I had really thought, after something sits around and around and around and around, sometimes it just needs a good workout to get it back in the game. Perhaps. Perhaps, but it doesn't want to do anything. So, we'll let this finish, which it is coming along. And it will undoubtedly pass the mechanical test. And then, once it has, I'll try and access the tape drive, but not through any command. I'll just try and press rewind, fast forward, play, something of that nature. Maybe they won't work together. There's something in the back of my head that says something about this. Anyway, we are scratching and formatting and reading and writing, and the heads are going, and it's going to say, we're okay. And now that it's finished, will this work? Yes, it will. Interesting. I'm going to fast forward. I am wondering, I'm going to try something, because I am crazy like that. I am going to load a program. And I'm going to see if this stops working. And it does not. And this loads. Interesting. Alright. So if the tape drive is spinning, it will spin. Anyway, this is a program, and it will take quite a long time but if nothing else, it certainly gives the disk drive a good workout. It checks every single track, every single sector. And to me, the value is really that it gets it moving, and it gets it used to being moving, and it gets it back in the game. Now, meanwhile, the tape drive is clunking away here. And is that because there's something wrong inside? Is it clunking? Like it's moving, the counter is moving, the tape is rewinding. Maybe it too just needs a little workout. I don't know, maybe the tape needs to. I wonder if I stop it, will it go again? And of course the answer is, oh, well that worked. The fast forwarding, oh, there. Ah, just hit it. Let me eject this for a second. Let me just reseat the tape. Oh, yeah, just tap it. So, who knows, maybe there are some lubrication issues here. Maybe there are some ongoing speed issues that would affect its ability to read and write effectively. It might need a little help inside. It does seem to be, as we're getting on, oh, this is a 90-minute tape. Oh, man. This is probably a mistake. I don't know if you can see this, but it's slowing. It stopped. Let's try rewinding. Ooh. That flies along like a... Wow, yeah, well, that's interesting. So rewind, it's really cooking. But fast forward, first of all, it didn't let go. And then it crops out. Interesting. Well, I'm going to rewind. Give it a bit of a workout. The counter is spinning. Oh, it still is making a little bit of a funny noise. Anyway, meanwhile, while this is happening, the disk drive is checking now track for sector 17, 18. It has checked 82 blocks. This is sounding a little smoother. The dataset itself, I mean, you could use, as my grandmother would say, a face wash, but it doesn't look so terrible. A few abrasions of sorts, but not terrible. So what I'm going to do when it gets to the end, and it's going to get to the end, I'm going to stop, I'm going to eject, which it doesn't really do well. I'm going to turn the tape over, and I'm going to rewind. So now, it is rewinding where the one side is very large and the other side is very small. But this should be doing pretty much what I wanted it to do before, in that I wanted it to fast forward, but of course if you flip a tape over and rewind, you're really fast forwarding. So it may be that there are tape troubles, because you see, the sounds that it's making are similar very much to the fast forwarding sounds that failed before. But it does seem to be picking up speed. It does. And perhaps you can even hear that. Anyway, this is going to take some time to check all the tracks and sectors and things. And this is going to rewind or fast forward. And well, it is slowing down again. Maybe there is something with this tape. You never know, you know. It is definitely slowing down, and I can see it, like, stopping, like there's something upsetting it. Oh dear, it's going to stop. I know it. Maybe I'll tap it. Well, it got about halfway, and it's really not happy. Well, that is strange. Because I would bet if I turn this over again, get it in properly, and hit rewind, it'll probably sail along quite fine. But if I were to press fast forward, so we may in fact have a tape of dubious origin here. Anyway, I'm going to let this rewind. I am. And then I will press stop, because there's no need to sit there while this all does its thing and while it's sucking power and trying to rewind when it can't rewind. Maybe I'll look for another tape. Maybe. I wish I had a shorter one. Because really, these long tapes, well, as we can see, there are issues. And really, you know, you're never going to have a program that really needs a 90-minute tape, which is like 45 minutes on each side. Although loading some programs probably felt like it took 45 minutes, it really isn't necessary. It's not. So it's about to come to a stop. So I will press stop. I'm not going to unplug it, because this is working away and that would be potentially unsafe. And at this moment, the disk drive has checked 147 blocks, which is probably now going to be 148, so it still has a ways to go. And I have no doubt, looking at how things are going with this, that this is probably going to pass this test. But once again, it's good to get things moving. So, interesting on the dataset explorations. And the disk drive, well, it just keeps humming along. So, I suppose what I could do, but I'm kind of scared about this, is check out the monitor that experienced the flood. And it may have actually, certainly, possibly, gotten wet in the flood. Oh, is that you, Penny? It's that end. Okay, hold on. Alright, so, that is enough for now. Until we meet again, bye for now. Want to say bye for now, Andrew?
Bye!
Bye. Bye-bye.